Each week we listen to an album, here's our rhyme. Just know it's gonna take about 3 hours of your time to hear us complain or praise each other's taste. But no matter what, at the end of the day, we're just best friends who love different music. We are earbuds, earbuds, earbuds. This is Earbuds.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Earbuds. If you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. Tell us everything you're thinking about. We want to know, we really do. Good or bad, good or bad. And if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, but you think that's your only option, no. Find us on all podcast platforms and follow us there. You can download the audio-only episodes and listen to them on your way to freaking work, baby.
Oh my God! This is Earbuds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Earbuds, Earbuds, Earbuds. My name is Landon, this is my best friend Joey. This is the show where each episode, one of us brings an album to the other one. Maybe it's something we both like, and we know we both like it. Maybe it's something the other guy never even freaking heard of before. And that is the premise of the show. Why don't you understand it yet?
Yeah.
Of course, we have a Venn diagram. Imagine, if you will, we're two sides of a Venn diagram. Interests and things over here.
So you're a circle.
I'm a circle, him a circle.
Yeah.
We both have stuff that we like in those. Yeah. But in Venn
diagram fashion.
In Venn diagram fashion, there's a inverted butt cheek in the center where all of our congruences.
What'd you call me?
Huh?
What'd you call me?
So that's where all of our congruences work.
Yes,
living
in that inverted butt cheek.
That's right.
So we try to cover some of that, but we want to cover what's outside of that. What him like that I don't like, or maybe I will if I ever heard it.
That's it.
So
that's it.
Last week, because you brought us Newfound Glory, that led me naturally to: is this going to happen? Should I even reference it?
No.
There's a noise happening.
You
can't hear it. We can.
That's right. Just act like it doesn't happen.
Absolutely insane for what we pay for this stuff these days. So that led me to bring the story so far.
That's right.
I brought things you don't see, whatever. Great album. I brought that for Landon to listen to.
That's right.
And I think the consensus was you like it.
Well, here's the big story coming out of last episode. We forgot to rate it.
Are you effing kidding me?
I'm pretty sure. I didn't go back and check the tape.
Nah, I don't talk like that.
I didn't go back and check the tape, but I'm like 85% sure we didn't rate the album.
This will be interesting because if we did, I probably won't give it the same rating.
Yeah,
just because I don't remember. I was trying to think on the way up here, what's one album that I could remember that I've given a rating to if someone asked me? Like a live show, they said, why did you give the album this rating? I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'd give it a 7.5.
Last one.
Yeah.
And you're not preemptively giving this one a 7.5, I hope.
No. You got to wait till the end of the episode.
I would give that, I think I would say a 7.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like we might have said that.
I don't think we did, but
if we didn't, that sounds right though.
Yeah. So
okay. Yeah.
That was a little hanging chad from last week from last episode we had to square away. And maybe it wasn't.
So, if we did and we said the exact same thing,
that's great.
Good for us.
We're consistent.
That led to one of the biggest upsets in the show. Now, we haven't been doing the show for too long compared to some of these veterans of podcasts.
Oh, yes. The stuff you should know, guys.
Yes. And others. And we're kind of doing our own sort of stuff you should know.
Yeah.
This is some stuff pointing at the album on the table. You should know.
Yeah.
So, Landon hawk-tooed all convention out the window.
I had to spit on that thing to get it out of here.
And you got to lubricate it to get it through the window. And he said, and I said something about their new album, right?
You said, I'm dying to talk to anyone about the new album.
I did say that. And then I was like, why'd I say that when I was listening to it?
I don't know.
I was like, I think I just wanted to talk about the band.
Maybe. So
So he said, well, let's do it.
Yeah. I said, there's some stuff I could pick, but I'm not really feeling called to any one certain thing. And now, of course, since that one, I was like, why didn't I just pick my own? This is stupid. But it will be interesting because full disclosure, one of our ideas for this show was, what if we picked the first and last or most recent album of bands that we like and talk about like each week. That was one of the ideas we had.
Yeah, and I guess for me, it would be interesting to hear. I've been listening to them at least since that last album came out, the one that we covered in 2013. It came out in 2013. We didn't cover it in 2013.
No.
Do not misquote me.
What do you think we are? The stuff you should know, guys?
But then I've listened to every episode. Jeebus Christ. I've listened to every album since then, but you haven't.
That's
so
right.
You're kind of coming into this one, and we'll see. Is there a big difference? Do you say, okay, they're kind of still doing their thing? I don't know. I don't know. Now, so you're basically lead into this is you haven't listened to it yet. And I mean, now you have.
Now I have, sure.
But you don't really have a backstory that's different.
No. Yeah, that's the thing. We can kind of get right into it, I think, this week.
Yeah.
Unless, do you want to give us, because typically, now this is also a little life hack for you out there. If you're doing a show like Earbuds with your friend.
Yeah, we love life hacks.
Usually, we will bring an album, and then the person who brings the album kind of has to be the steward and show the other dimwit through the sort of intricacies of this album and say, actually, Roger Joseph Manning Jr. went to Andy Sturmer's doorstep and said, can we please keep the band going? Stuff like that. Insider knowledge that only a true fan would know. Now, if you do the simple life hack that I've done, where you pick the other guy's band again, then he has to do that again.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do anything.
It's awesome. It lightens the load for you. It's sort of the opposite Samwise Gamgee move. He's like, let me lighten the load for myself.
Yeah.
Talk about the band again.
It's been awesome.
Speaking of, what we were talking about? Was it this show or the other show? We were talking about the drummer videos where the guy's like, so you've never heard Led Zeppelin? Play one of their songs or whatever.
I don't think we talked about that on any show.
Yeah, these YouTube videos where the guy listens to,
Yeah.
he's like, I'd never heard that.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
I was watching one of them and the guy had a jellyfish shirt on, the drummer.
Really?
And I was like, wow, they do exist.
They do exist.
So this album.
I thought you meant those. Have you seen those YouTube ads where it's like, what's his name from Metallica? And he's like, do you want to play like Metallica? But it seems like he's AI generated. And then there's a guy next to him who's lip syncing to him saying, it's as simple as playing along. And it's an ad for like a guitar teaching app. And it's like, doom, doom,
No,
doom,
I usually
doom,
get the
doom.
art list ones or whatever. Where it's like, do you want to sound like a raspy old man or a guy with a different accent?
Yeah. There's that one, or the one who's like, check out the art list. Like,
oh God.
and then there's what's the other one where it's like,
you can do this and this and this and even this.
yeah. Is
Come
that the one?
on, give it to me, give it to me.
What? Oh, damn it! What is it?
I don't know, for art list.
Is it art list? Now I can't. Or no. Check out the machinery.
Yeah.
But I think his voice sounds like some other guy from a YouTube tutorial channel that I watch sometimes. I think it is just that guy.
It might be.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Hey, guys out there, what YouTube ads are you getting? I know you're not getting any on these Earbuds episodes because we cannot be monetized because we are breaking the law by doing the show, we've been told. But what other YouTube ads are out there?
Let us know in the comments. We hope to hear from you. Now, for me, for the Story So Far's newest album, 2024's I Want to Disappear, we hadn't heard from these guys. It had been a minute, as me and my cohorts online were saying.
Yeah.
In 2018, they put out Proper Dose.
Yes.
And now in this album, as I mentioned before, we were met with a singer filled with doubt about his career, sort of saying, I don't like doing this. I don't want to be in a band. I don't feel good. My stomach hurts.
Yeah, he's one of these Gen Z.
And you're sort of like, okay. And they changed their sound a bit, so you're like, okay, they're it's a little different now. and it sounds like they're slowing things down and they're singing about some different stuff. And then
Was he using his falsetto?
yeah,
As he so beautifully does. On
yeah, he
this?
went, oh, my stomach hurts.
I'm scared to call the delivery man.
Now 5 years go by.
Just text. 5 years go by.
And of course, we had Mr. COVID, so maybe that has something to do with it.
And of course,
We're not
now
allowed.
a lot of artists churned out even more art
Yeah.
during the COVID, but
No excuse. They have no excuse.
some artists said, I can't even right now.
Yeah, they traveled inward and they said, I'm just got to be alone. I can't even think about music.
Yeah.
So they did that or
Yeah.
whatever.
Maybe,
5
yeah.
years go by. He has done an album with no pressure between this. And people go, oh, it sounds like he's back, Jack. He kind of talks about that. A big thing happens, which leads into this album, which is also on the no pressure stuff, which is that Parker's dad passes away,
Yes.
lead singer of the band.
Yeah.
So that leads into some of the lyrics, but I believe that happens somewhere in the middle there. 5 years go by. 2023, they release a single in August of 2023.
Woo!
And it's got some new artwork. They put out a single, like a 7-inch, and everyone's like,
The fans are buzzing.
So then another 10 months go by. I believe it's June of 2024 when this album comes out. And the song is on the album, and the art all matches, like it's all cohesive.
It's of a piece.
And so, but it was just like they put out one song, and all these songs are like a minute long.
Yeah.
So they put out
And
one song.
And might I say, it is kind of one of the songs that's kind of like apart from the whole.
Yeah, that's why I thought even when they put out the album, it probably wouldn't be on it.
Yeah.
Just because it seems like, did they put it on it just to have it out there as sort of a proper release?
Talking about Big Blind, of course, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
anyway.
I don't know. It seems like maybe, I don't know. It sounds like they maybe got together and wrote that first and then just hitched it on over to the album. Not as egregious as an edging.
No. I'm
I'm not even telling you what I think about the song yet,
No, me neither. Me neither.
other than I like it. So
Me neither.
6 years between albums, which is very long.
It's pretty long for an album cycle, especially I feel like in this type of music, because the albums are so short.
That's kind of when you
like-
get 10 songs and it's 28 minutes.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like,
And they are
Yeah.
not, and I love this style of music, and I'm not going to spoil my feelings on this album, but I liked the last one too. But same with Newfound Glory, or, Green Day, all these types of, you're in kind of this thing, you kind of know how to make this music.
right.
You're not reinventing the wheel every time.
Yeah.
6 years to do the same thing you did
Honest-
every other album?
I mean, honestly, that's why
Not literally.
I kind of was like, maybe he doesn't like doing that because
Yeah.
it's like we have to do 10. The album label wants an album. I'm sure Mr. Pure Noises, like purely being noisy in their ear,
Yeah.
make more music. So I'm like,
We're doing another album.
are you out of ideas? Or maybe it is like, hey, this is what we like to do.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes of music. I don't know what you want.
I actually have no problem with it, actually. But
I love
it
that
is
you're
just
in and you're
funny.
out, but I also don't when I'm like, some of these are maybe good. Maybe some of these are maybe really good.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've been waiting for this kind of their specific sound
Yeah.
of pop punk for several years now. And then it's sort of like,
And I think if we
here's
as
an
fans,
EP's worth of music.
yeah. If we as fans were waiting that long, we would want 17 songs. Like we would want the dregs that Blink 182 is shoveling down our
The
gullets.
stuff that we said we don't want, we would
we'd
want.
say, well, just give it to us.
Just
anyway.
imagine this. We put out this episode of Earbuds. 6 years goes by.
Yeah.
We put out another episode and it's less than 30 minutes. Wouldn't you just, as fans,
Yeah, you'd be so disappointed, wouldn't you?
and
Wouldn't
you?
you?
Would think about that. You think 6 years and they put out all this stuff, and you would say, "Really, all this time?" Okay, Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
All this time you've just been counting down, making plans for when you're not around, and taking shots out of this loaded gun, and screaming out until my voice is numb. So just say you want more, and we can stop all this pain now. How many seasons you're not around? I spread your ashes onto the ground. All this time you've just been counting down, making plans for when your life goes out. When you say it's like knives inside your mouth, then you can't enjoy anything like this now. Life running out inside your house, and you move out all directions. So just say you want more, and we can stop all this pain now. How many seasons you're not around? I spread your ashes onto the ground, because you said you wanted all, but there's still so much pain now. How many reasons for bowing out? How can I cope with all this doubt?
Now, here's the thing. All these songs are so dang short.
That's the trouble. You listen to the whole thing, then we get taken off of YouTube.
Yeah, they say we're not even going to pay you. We're just taking the whole thing down.
You can't be on here anymore.
Yeah, you guys, you can't do that. You're driving for the DOT.
What do you think of this little track?
I said to them, like, I was by myself, but I looked at the stereo and I said, the boys are back. I mean, right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like, what do you get at the, yep. It's so quiet. But then no, like, guitar lead in, no
Nothing.
sort of build. It's just like, it's cool because, and as we go into the next one too, but it is sort of that, like the album we talked about last time,
Yeah.
a live show.
Yeah.
Sort of, they just come out.
Yeah. Well, it's even I'm pretty damn sure the one we talked about last time starts with the hi-hat,
Which is why I was curious to hear
it's kind of interesting.
your thought of, it's been 11 years since that one.
Yeah.
And you go, what things have changed? You know, where
nothing.
are they? And it's sort of, to me, I think a lot of people listening, they're like, they're kind of a return to form.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah,
Same
sounds like
old
the same. Yeah.
Same old shit.
Oh. But you get this great. I can't get into it again.
There's a little more.
I'm gonna give it an 8 if I listen to it again.
Yeah. There's a little more preamble for that there.
There is, but you get that sort
it's
of
still the
live sound.
I got to go through all their albums now that we've completed
Yeah.
the mission. And I got to hear if they start every album with the hi-hat.
I can't wait to cover them next week. Yeah. So,
May I ask one question before we really get into it? What do you think of the album art?
kind of weird, huh?
It's like a big giant guy looking in the mirror.
But look at this on the album.
Whoa. You're
You see
right.
this?
It is a big guy looking in a mirror.
They've kind of got this.
Whoa, it's like a.
It's indented, I guess.
That's kind of cool as hell.
So all the tracks on the back you can barely read.
Because they want to disappear.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
That's actually cool as hell.
I like when it. Check that out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I like when a band goes in kind of just a weird direction with their album artwork.
I like it. I think it reminds me of if you're in a sort of quote unquote creative field and you use Shutterstock.
Who did this?
There's sort of the current like graphic design trend in Shutterstock images and stuff is the sort of big, I don't know, you see it in commercials too, of like this style of like a big exaggerated limbs on people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
There's a name for it's like the Memphis. There's like that they were using in animation for a while. It's like
Yeah.
the Memphis corporate animation style, where sort of everything is sort of this
Giant guy.
It's like all kind of vector shapes to make people
Yeah.
like you think of like a Target commercial or something.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of that, but like you said, they're exaggerating limbs, and
Yeah.
sometimes there's even a sketchy quality.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes to 2 or 3 different little sketches.
Mm-hmm.
That's this.
Yeah. But you can see this is a painting originally. You can see the brush strokes.
They really did it. That's Nick Dolan cover design.
I really like it. I found it interesting because I was like, I wonder what came first. Was this artist inspired by a Gap commercial, or were Gap commercial inspired by this artist?
I
Just
feel like
interesting.
it's probably that because corporations like to steal from people.
Of course.
It's like the Urban Outfitters thing of everyone going like, they stole all my like jewelry designs.
Yeah.
And there's like, do something about it.
Yeah.
You can't.
What, are you going to sue us? You.
Well, that's why I liked it on the big blind stuff. It's the guy with it holding his cards.
Yeah.
So I definitely had a rock solid feeling about that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that cover, and then I like that they did this. So I didn't know if they did that together. Or they're like, you should do all our stuff.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's cool.
I'll put that back.
But yeah, I mean, this song is great.
Great song.
Great way to kickstart an album, eh?
Great way to kickstart an album. And it is sort of that you get into the lyrics and they're like, they are dark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You can tell he's got
yeah.
basically 1 or 2 ideas on his mind this album.
Yeah, and I think
And of course, why wouldn't you?
interestingly, in a way I haven't heard a lot, he blends them into one song often.
Yeah.
Where it's like about a girl and sort of thinking about a relationship
Yeah.
and coping with your parent dying
Yep.
from cancer, like
Yeah.
and then
there's-
sort of how that makes you change your outlook on the other situation.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. It really is.
You sound like remember when like Larry King was sort of at the end of his run,
Yeah,
and he clearly didn't know. He's like, so Eric Andre, you jumped through a desk once, and he's like, explain. That's you.
It certainly seems interesting.
God, I'll tell you this. Our sponsors over at Genius, I think they knew we were going to cover this album because there's a lot of...
Wow. I didn't even look before we hopped on mic because I tend not to care about what the geniuses say. I never look.
They might as well call this site Einstein because of all these Einsteins leading all these...
What do they have anything enlightening?
I mean, a lot of it is about... I think it was clear to everyone it was about his dad.
Yeah.
And so it's like stuff about throat cancer, and when he says this, he's thinking of
when he says when you said it's like knives inside your mouth, that's about him.
That's how it's like hurts to swallow.
Yeah.
The line "and your mood lacks all direction" encapsulates Cannon's emotional turbulence during this time.
Yeah.
Caught between the and then it's talking about how Mark Hoppus had cancer.
Whoa.
I don't know if that's exactly related.
I don't.
I don't think so. I think it's because he did an interview with him once.
Probably. And then he sung at their show.
Yeah.
It's like, but no, the great song. Nothing standing in my way. I think of you every day, and if there is a better way, I trust that you'll show it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, a man who is reconciling the painful loss of a father and a mentor.
I think something interesting here. I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but like going back to, I noticed this with a lot of these bands when it's like 10 years in, doesn't it seem like their voices get higher somehow?
Yeah.
Like Ryan Key,
Yeah.
his voice is higher than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Then you've got like Billy Joe sounds like he is shrinking because his voice is getting higher. like as they, and that might just be like people are taking vocal lessons.
Yeah, I think they're probably just actually better singers.
They're
now,
better singers, and
so
they've
they
been
know how
doing
to
it for a while.
Control their voice more.
But he still kind of has the shouty thing.
Yeah.
But there's a higher pitch to it.
There's more of a singer
Mhm.
aspect to it than 10 years prior.
Which I like.
I like
I
both.
like his voice then, and I was listening to stuff off their old, like their first EP of stuff recently, and I was like, yeah, it's really in there that he's kind of shouting everything. Not really, but like it's the rough version of the things you don't, whatever the fuck it's called. I can't remember. Things you don't see or whatever. It's just a long title.
Sure.
But it's more on that end, and then you can hear it as it goes by that he's sort of singing a little more, which I think does go into how he is on stage with this stuff. And you're getting he's kind of always finishing a sentence as the next one starts.
Yeah.
Which is probably hard to do live.
Yeah.
This is also the first one without their regular producer.
Oh,
And
right.
so I feel like it is mixed a little different. It's mixed a little softer.
Well, yeah, what I think it's a little more refined,
I think so.
but it still has that energy, but it is a little more refined in the mix. And I think just like from a songwriting standpoint, I don't know if that's the producer saying, "Hey, what if you tried making it more," I don't know. Like all the guitar parts feel like they have a hooky, like.
This is what I love about these bands, and like I felt that way about even Newfound Glory up into their new stuff.
Yeah,
they still are finding ways to write a catchy hook I've never heard before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like this, and I was thinking about some other songs we'll get to on here, but it's like, and I was listening to a guitar player on an interview the other day, and he was like, it's just so easy muscle memory when you've been doing this for 20 or 30 years. It's like, I will always just go back to playing the same stuff because that's just what my fingers go to.
Yeah.
And I have to find new ways to like
yeah.
find inspiration to write new stuff.
Yeah.
And it is like these little
be
things
hard,
where
huh?
it feels like refreshing and like they're back and it's quick and there's these new parts they're playing.
Yeah. But I think
great.
even more than that one, and of course, they're 10 years older, they're 10 years
But it
better at writing stuff. But I feel like these songs have more of a songy structure to them, even, and like I feel like the choruses are catchier, the guitar parts are catchier, the drums are a little less intense and crazy, and which is probably better as far as like a song. I don't know. It just depends on what you're going for, but I feel like.
I think
the drum
lyric-
parts are cool, but
it also has to help
fit the song.
move
It's the
a-
Ringo
yeah.
thing. Ringo's actually the best drummer because his parts never overplay the song or whatever dumb.
He's got one snare and one floor tom. That's all he's got.
He doesn't need
Kakum,
anything.
kakum, kakum. But it fits like the emotion of what he's singing about too. It's not like we're just going to play the loud, fast as always. There needs to be some nuance to help with these. It's not just about a relationship or being on tour or whatever.
Right.
It's like,
There's a little more at stake here.
yeah, I think so. And I think you have to have a good band that can play the parts that also match the emotion of what you're singing about, but also in their own way. He's not like at this point of being so, I don't know, sad about how hard this stuff is to go through. He's doing it through their filter, which is cool.
Yeah. And there is still that energetic sort of catharsis of kind of scream singing still in like, these fast songs about like, do you want to sing a slow freaking ballad about your dad passing away? Well, maybe later. Yeah.
Right. But there's
But for the most part, I want to go,
yeah. I love these guys. And what's the next one even called? Oh yeah.
I can't even look at the back and because it's
You can't even see it.
It's
I will say
disappeared.
though, there was a weird thing with me earlier today. This is true. We have three stalls three urinals at
believe him.
work.
Uh-huh.
And so I go into the bathroom and use the farthest one on the side, which leads the guy to then want to take number 3, right? If I'm at 1, he's at 3. He comes to 2, and it's like, what do you want me to do? Watch you go? And I'm gonna lead in from the end of the first song.
Very good.
So you can say it's the same as the last one.
Time stands inside the clock of my mind. If I turn back now, then I lose everything I find. There's no better feeling than knowing you were right. Want all these things, but I still can't buy back the night. I get it if you ain't me. I'm barely here lately. Distant and lazy. Lacking motivation, 'cause it's never enough to have you here. I'd rather just watch you go. And all the things that you still feel are from people you used to know. I'm still concealing the way that I'm feeling, and my way of feeling may never be enough. Getting out of false alarm, can't accept the way things are. Get it if you ain't me. I'm barely here lately. Distant and lazy.
Cool. Yeah. They're just there's such a tight into the next song. I think
Yeah.
there's a live. Let's see if I can find this spot. While you talk about what you love about this track. Okay, don't listen to that.
Whoa,
No ads on this show.
man! I was hoping it would be an artless ad, but no, I like this song too. I mean, I have to say, there's probably not a song on here I dislike. Some I dislike more than others, but I don't know if this is one of the top.
Right.
But it is so fast and it just gets to it, you know?
Is this where he does it? Let's see.
Why don't you go?
I just feel like whenever they play live too, it's so tight, that little intro. They just like are so
Yeah.
on top of it. Because like you were saying with the last album, the first song sort of does this feedback into the second song, and then they go right into it,
Yeah.
sort of without any preamble. And then again, just like the first song, no real lead up to the song.
Yeah.
Time stamps inside the clock of my mind. If I turn back now, then I lose everything I find. There's no better feeling than knowing you were right. I've bought all these things, but I still can't buy back that night. And they're still just good pop punk songs.
That's the
Like
thing.
some of it, it's like, yeah, they've covered this ground before, but I like that stuff.
Of course.
So,
Of
I mean, what
course.
am I going to do here?
And that's what I mean. I think these are better pop punk songs than that one, than that album. I don't. Maybe that's blasphemy to say. I don't know the fans. I don't know what the fans are feeling like
I think
with this new one.
I think these are poppier.
They're pop. Yeah, they're more pop than punk.
Yeah, there's a little
they're still
more
punk.
nuance to them.
They're still punky as hell.
Yeah.
He's doing the punk beat. You got to.
And that's the guy that's playing. He's playing guitar on tour with them.
That's so
So
stupid.
he's like, I wrote that, but I'm doing this. And they've got the bass player from Man Overboard on bass.
Whoa.
Co-vocalist. So I think he's also a singer. He gets to do the backing vocals with him.
So sorry, it's over. The bassist from that song.
Do I run? Do I run? You're getting shit on in the comments all over the place.
I
on
know.
that. I love it.
Good.
I'm just scrolling through.
Fight me.
I love our fans.
I stand by everything I say.
I love that.
I like. I feel like this song. I like the verses even better than the damn chorus. I just
Yeah.
love Time then the clock. Like how it goes down. Clock of my mind.
And he's doing the thing I love where it's all he's singing sort of at a slower tempo than the music's kind of and he's like time stands still. There's this little dissonance or something between the there's nothing much I can say here.
Yeah. I like this track. Again, maybe not my very top one, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
There's no real stinker on here yet.
No, I think this one too, if they just came out and played that would be great. It would play well on like, I don't know, Letterman.
Captain. David. Oh.
Hey! He's back there.
What's that? Me like a ceiling fan. David Letterman. Letterman.
Oh my God.
David Letterman. Like David Letterman.
God, I'm gonna listen to the whole thing again.
It's so listenable, Joe.
Oh, wait, but we got to get to the bridge.
Yeah.
I'll get to it. Yeah, God, I just... This was so they had put out Big Blind.
I'm a rubber band man.
But this was sort of this was I guess the second single they put out.
Oh.
But the one that was like, here's the first single from the album.
Sure.
And I was like, God, you got Big Blind, and then they throw out Letterman as sort of the first album single.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I'm so freaking excited for this album.
Yeah.
It is a very mellow track.
Yeah, this is kind of atypical.
Yeah.
But
He's got his little Oasis look in that he can't seem to shake. You know he's going to see him at Bristol.
I hate this man. And I hate this man. Today is gonna be Everyone's just crying.
God, I wish I could go just to see what goes on.
Just to see what happens.
I tried to get tickets to that because I was like, I'll see. They're going to be in Chicago. I was like, what, it's going to be $100? I'll go see if he's going to be like, you're a potato.
How much?
I don't know. I don't think I won the lottery system or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to be so expensive.
Stupid. I don't care that much.
No.
Don't listen to him. Why would I pay even $100? I don't know. Some stuff even escapes even me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this song's great. Enough about Oasis. This song's great.
Yeah, this one's great. I like the reference to Jim Carrey's first movie, Rubber Face.
Yeah. And of course, we talked about Worldwide Pants.
Yeah.
There's no point in making nice. I know the price because I know all about the down and out. I get it. So even if I close my eyes and fantasize, it's never going to help me admit that you're gone and to just accept it. Now,
this could be about the girl or about the dad.
Right. This is sort of falling into that Creed area for me where we say, is this about Jesus or is this about a girl?
Right.
You know, it goes through, and they're actually cool again now.
Yeah, we actually love Creed.
I was at Target and they were playing a Creed music video on all the TVs. And I was like, what is like this? It really is like being in a different time.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like, does he know it's kind of, because everyone's like, remember this is bad?
But is it? I don't even know anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. So great song, Letterman.
And you know what's interesting about this song too? Like it is even atypical as far as the pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it is kind of a dun, 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 ba, bum, ba, bum, ba. It's kind of a slower song for them, but lyrically, vocally, it's not what you have pointed out so beautifully, my friend.
Thank you.
Where he is he's ahead of even.
Mm-hmm.
He's either ahead or the song is and he's like behind.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it kind of is just a straight up song,
Which is cool.
Yeah.
You get sort of like
They
his
can do it
voice
all.
with, yeah.
They can do it all, can't they, Joey?
Just
Admit it.
they can do it all. I was trying to make sure I wasn't missing a.
No.
No, they can. No morning, man.
You were almost threatening to jump the gun.
The hell?
I know I'm distant, but that don't mean I'm not around. I know I'm hated, but I don't like anyone else. Make me an offer, trade you for all that I found. I can't come over, I just keep breaking it down. I don't want to say I want you. Trust me, that's easily forgiven. Trust me, that's easily forgiven. I want to come back home to that piece of my life. I know I'm jaded, but I cannot stand how you said there's no more room, man. Your time is over and out. You don't know patience. You jumped the gun at this time. I lay in wait, man, and I think that my time is now.
Let me get to the I think the outro here.
So if you're done, then get out. Leave me on my own. Now figure it out. So if you're done, then get out. Leave me on my own. Now figure it out. That's what I see. So if you're done, then get out. Leave me on my own. Now figure it out. So if you're done, then get out. Leave me on my own. Now figure it out.
All right.
They should go into like a 12-minute
Yeah.
outro for that song.
This makes no sense. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. This makes no. And he's like, "Oh, wrote you this letter," or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Another great little track.
Yeah.
Again, not much to say here. What I wanted to say.
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Maybe I can do it now. I think sort of that more aggressive style of their earlier albums. I
Yeah.
think the outlet for that, at least for him, might be No Pressure.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that kind of gets put there now.
Mhm.
And then they can sort of use Story So Far to kind of expand. Because they've been playing in this band for a while now. I'm sure it's sort of like, let's get some other stuff in the set list.
Sure.
We got to do this every night, everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's probably cool to be able to sort of do that. And I feel like this album's been very well received for kind of their last album was a little more different. Yeah, that makes sense. So I think there was sort of precedent to say
Differenter.
we're going to do some more differently stuff on this one. And so
Yeah.
people are kind of like can
Now
get
they're-
with it.
They primed.
Yeah.
They primed them with that last album.
Now they can just pull the ripcord on this one or
Yep,
whatever.
and it still doesn't start.
Right. So you're like,
just-
am I flood? Is this what flooding the engine
yeah, I
is?
think
or-
you flooded it, pal. Just wait like an hour and try
Yeah.
again. Well, I need to mow now.
Turn it upside.
so-
You need to turn the mower upside down and let it sit.
Anyway, yeah, this is a great track too. I don't necessarily, because it kind of lyrically they do kind of cover the same territory.
This is not a standout. Can we say that?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's I'm guessing probably not going to be hearing it live or something.
Yeah, probably not.
But I like it. Yeah. Like you said, there's probably not one on here that I don't like necessarily.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, another good one. Man, when this came out, I was on vacation. I was in New Jersey, and I was just by myself in the car cruising down the ocean. I had this turned up, and I was like, does life get much better than this?
A new album from one of my favorite bands, driving on the PCH.
Right. And then, of course, what happened was got hit by a semi-truck because I didn't realize in my dad's car there's this big blind spot. Turn that up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Used to be here by myself. I'm working this out. Used to see her, now she's out there shaking us out. If you wanna play cards, you better be careful. Small blood, big bottle. Almost like a deck, 'cause I know the dealer. Are we on the same side? You put up the hearts and I'll beat up both my aces. Not very far apart, still on different pages.
Damn. That hits different when you're 25.
They need a violin player.
Yeah.
Still on different pages. Spill out everywhere, I can't keep from falling apart. I wanna yell, my intent was full from the start. Here we go! If you wanna play cards, you better be careful.
You're my big blind.
Almost like a deck, 'cause I know the deal.
Are we on the same side?
Put up the hearts and I'll beat up both my aces. Not very far apart, still on
Different pages.
Spill out everywhere, I can't keep from falling.
Ah, this part's good, but unfortunately, we've hit our quota.
Yep.
Oh, wait. And then, of course, at the end, you just get... That's cool. Kind of got this throwback feeling to it. But I was also thinking that guitar part, like you were talking about, this is so... It's one of those where you go, how has this not been done before? Because I think it's good.
Uh-huh. I mean,
Like it's not like anything special. No. But it's just like this song's catchy.
yeah.
If you want to play card, you gotta be careful. Small blind, big blind. I will stack the deck because I know the dealer.
Now here's...
Are we on the same side?
I do love this song. I think it's catchy as hell. It does feel like a early 2000s pop punk, Yellow
Right.
Card, New Found Glory, something like that. The heyday of like when this music, you were just like, I can't believe they're doing it. And now you're kind of like, yeah, everyone can do it.
Yeah.
But no, it is catchy as hell.
But it's being done by the best.
It's catchy as hell, but I do the whole card thing. I'm not a gambler. I don't know about poker. Someone tried to explain what the small blind and big blind was to me once, and I just
Can you explain it to me?
Stared slack jaw at them as drool escaped my lip.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what our contributors over at Genius have said.
Here we go.
The chorus introduces the metaphor of playing cards. Keep that in mind because that's probably going to come into play. Small blind and big blind refer to the compulsory bets in poker, symbolizing the risks and stakes involved in the relationship. Parker mentions stacking the deck. He does mention that,
Yeah, because he knows the dealer.
which is a type of card manipulation, something you know all about,
Yeah.
freak.
I read Amoral Man.
I was a card shark. And knowing the dealer, which suggests an attempt to control or manipulate the situation. This reflects his desire to gain an advantage in the relationship dynamics, possibly due to a lack of trust or compatibility.
Yeah, I get all that.
So, of course, a small blind and a big blind would be a bigger bet. I will stack the deck because I know the dealer. Are we on the same side? Interesting.
You put up
It's
the
just-
hearts, I'll put up both my aces. Not very far apart, still on different pages.
It's an interesting metaphor, I guess, because I was like, that's kind of a weird,
That's what I just don't. Yeah,
which is why I think, as you're saying, doesn't really fit with the rest of the album.
it is a little. But he does. Throughout the album, he is also talking about not being sure about his relationship, his romantic life relationship.
And spill out, the cards spilling all over, falling apart. And though I wanted you, my intent was flawed from the start. Because he was sort of, like they said, he's sort of trying to find a way to get an upper hand or kind of be one ahead. Very cool, very cool.
I just
then
don't, and
this-
it's the full thing is
Cool cover.
Yeah, I do like the artwork for the single.
And he's got a toucan.
Yeah, that's pretty sick as hell.
So
there's a type of, and it's the metaphor the whole time.
speak your truth.
The whole time is the card metaphor thing, and
Well,
I just
idiot. The song's called Big Blind.
I
At some point,
know.
you think he's going to go, and now we're at the state fair.
That would be
Skank,
cool.
gank, gank.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't get the ring on the bottle. No prize now. I can't get the dart into the balloon. No pop out. And if you want to go down the really big slide, you're still in the snake thing where you see the snakes. Are the snakes happy? And then he got corn dog, and we got corn dog, and we're gonna eat the Dole Whip. And my, wait. And now we got a picture of us like we're old in black and white and sepia.
dress like
Cowboys.
But well, I like that. But if you could say like, I know the carny,
Yeah.
so they let me pick the duck up out of the little
yeah.
thing.
I think we could do that. We could kind of pull like a Weird Al.
Let's
on this.
Weird
Let's
Al.
Weird Al this shit.
But it's not even making it funny. It's just using a different
Yeah.
metaphor.
It's sort of just like our plus up. It's like the sandwich guy.
Yeah.
You know, TikTok, the sandwich guy.
No, I thought you meant Jared from Subway.
Well, we could
You
do a version
consider-
about him, certainly.
Yeah.
Small guy, big guy.
Small guy, big pants. It's just a good one about him.
Yeah.
He really committed to the
I always
Subway
stack.
diet.
I always stack the veg because I. We'll work.
We'll
on
work
it.
on
We
it.
don't have that much time.
No.
I always stack the. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always stack the sandwich with all the meat. Yeah. Something.
That's good.
So good song.
Yeah, good song.
I don't know. I guess the problem with a lot of these is that we don't really have nothing to say.
Whoa.
Oh,
Here we go.
This one could also be about Jared.
Yeah. Tasting the sandwiches.
got to get to the frickin' outro. I mean, it's going to get there before I can. Hold on. I feel like this song's kind of got two different sort of, are they even tempo changes? I don't know. It's sort of, there's that sort of almost,
I think so.
like chunk chunk doom doom, but then when he kind of also, when it turns into My Whole Life Shattered, it kind of like opens up and lets it breathe for a second, where it's like changing what the song is about a little bit.
Yeah.
Back into him being like, that day in your room and you kissed my face.
Yeah.
This one.
And then the outro when it's about him being Mormon, soaking in the mirror. And when I move the wrong way, will you guide me if I fall? How can I believe you're there if I don't feel you?
That's about. Well, they have the restored text.
Yeah.
So
they can kind of get away with it.
Mr. Smith.
No, this is, I think, my favorite song.
I don't know. Because and I'll let you go first. It's your album, of course.
Yes, thank you. I think it is interesting because it is mixing, like, clearly this is about a relationship, but also this it puts me in mind of a famous Jonathan Lethem quote that I bring up every
episode,
20 episodes. And I don't ever know the actual quote, but basically it is he's an author, one of my favorite authors. Yeah. And basically he says in a famous to me essay in one of his essay collections, The Disappointment Artist, he says something along the lines of, every work that I will ever produce will in some way be about my mother passing away.
Mm-hmm.
There will never be a time in my life that I don't have that somehow informing what I'm doing. And I think that resonates probably with anyone, certainly with me. And I think even in this, where you're like, I'm thinking about this sexy time I was having with this girl, but then, oh yeah, fuck, my dad's dead.
Yeah.
It's just such a gut punch in this song that is also still catchy as hell, and you're like rocking out and you're like, when I got that call, my whole life shattered, whatever, you're just like, oh
yeah.
Even as a listener, I was like, I kind of forgot, because he was having lust in his bedroom.
I got goosebumps, and you sort of feel like it's so candid. It's such a, because there is this, which is why I'm like, is it my favorite song on the album? Because it is so weird. Of this, like,
it's really weird,
because it is weird to be like, all of these things are entwined in a way that don't get mentioned, because it's either like, here's the song about the girl,
right,
or in a way that we've talked about even recently with like the Blink stuff of like, hey, Anthem is like, none of the rest of the album is about this stuff, but it's like, it has to be all this one thing to them, where it's like, this song's the positive song.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's all this, or it's like, here's all the death stuff. And then here's the girl stuff. Where it's like, no, you're right. Where it's like, he's thinking of this time where this thing he had with the girl in the past, and it's like, I was coming on too strong, or she wanted something different, and if I could have done something different, and then that made me move away from them. And you think about, like you said, it's sort of this reminder, even to the way they structure in the song is kind of crazy, of like, and then it almost is like a car crash, or I got a call that my dad died. This thing like, and then that will then circle back around to thinking about all, like, not only your your past life with your dad that you don't get to have anymore.
Right.
It's like, who else am I missing?
Mm-hmm.
And this person that I screwed this thing up with because of an embarrassing thing about having too much like lust.
Yep.
Basically, I was too freaking horny.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like, if I could go to you and be like, I don't care about that anymore, or whatever. Like, my dad's dead.
Yeah.
It is weird.
Yeah.
The mishmash of them, but it's like, yeah, I guess that is what's in people's heads, and then you don't get that in songs much.
Right. And it kind of, even like you saying, the structure of the song, even there, like that outro, if like it becomes a kind of a different song.
Mm-hmm. Which is great. And I love the outro.
Yeah.
But it's like, it almost has nothing to do with that girl. I mean, because then it becomes, I feel like this sort of, just as he's thinking about it, I don't know, this sort of, what's the phrase here? This sort of, I don't know, stream of consciousness, I guess.
Yeah.
Of sort of like then wanting to go to his dad,
Mm-hmm.
get the guidance, and then not feeling like, I mean, that, how can I believe you're there if I don't feel you at all? I feel like that's a whole song.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
And then he brings it up literally like 10 seconds before the song ends.
Yeah. I don't feel you at all. Don't feel you at all. End.
Yeah.
It's just like, Jesus. But it is, I think this is like the most human song I've heard in a long time.
And I think, I think I was seeing a lot of people online between this and there's another one on here, but people are like, this is sort of this like latter half, this B side of the album is a lot of like, wow, this is really sticking with me.
Yeah, great stuff on the B side,
because it is a flawed. It is like you're sort of I mean, you're dealing with an embarrassing situation with a girl, or like, I was kind of wrong in this situation.
Yeah.
And then tying it back to like your dad dying, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So cool. Very, very cool.
Great song, boys.
So maybe it is definitely a contender for best song on the album. Definitely, to me, one of the best songs they've ever put out, which is when you're like, oh, they really are kind of putting some good work. And then you have to, for me, a lot like songs like this too, and certainly with other bands that I will probably talk about at some point, but it's like, this is a situation that to him is personal. Like the lyrics, you always go like, well, this is a song about him, but there's also 4 other guys in the band.
Yeah.
That are also, their emotional output is through their instruments. Mm-hmm. Just because you're connecting to the lyrics doesn't mean they're not trying to put something to it. So it's like also having people in the band that can then sort of, that can like assist with that message through what they're playing.
What I think it is, because it is, even the song is kind of the chaotic feeling of the lyrics of like, it's just great.
Because then when it goes back to the chorus, it does kind of go back to the like that feeling of the pop punk song about a girl.
Yeah.
Against that sort of like breakdown into the stuff about his dad.
Yeah. It's great.
Good stuff.
You know, when I look at this song, I say, I keep you around.
You do?
Oh, great. The Blink guys got in the studio.
Yeah.
For this song. Hello there, the angel from my nightmare. Sounds just like that song.
Yeah. Which one is that?
How will
go to the bridge.
No success without the test of leaving you behind.
We'll come back to that. Where am I?
Done with here, you're always by my side.
Okay, here we go.
I mean it when I say your words. Secret through the salt in your eyes. There's no other choice that I see. I just gotta move on now. I hear you calling me somehow.
You calling me summer?
I'll keep you around, but don't even know how.
You forgot about the drums.
How will I get through that? Shield myself in the color of your likeness. How am I still never doubting? Cover myself in the shadows.
And we take it out there. There's some, yeah, nice little instrumental outro.
It kind of is a Blink song.
Yeah, this one is very Blink coded.
Yeah. Even that bridge, I could hear Mark doing the bubble bubble do.
Yeah.
the guy, kind of the echo guy.
I just gotta move on now.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, I mean, I by the way, love this song.
They love
This is
Blink.
also-
We love them.
Of
and
course.
Blink.
Of course.
So, I mean, what do you want from us? Assholes. Don't listen to this show. Just talk about us. Talk with us.
Talk with us. We love him.
We love him.
We love him. This song is up there as best.
Yeah.
I do like the other one a little better just because it's a little bit crazier
Mm-hmm.
thematically and just
Yeah, it's interesting.
resonance.
Mm.
But this one is like straightforward, like my dad's dead.
This is where I was like, because when I thought about it before, just as a fan of the album, and I was like,
Sure.
I got to talk to someone about this or whatever. The first half, then I was like, oh, like it's all sort of the stuff they've done before. I like it, but then I was
good.
like, where is that stuff? I was like, oh yeah, it's all like you kind of get with the last song. I kind of had a Daffy Duck moment right there. I was like, you kind of get with.
I thought you meant because I tricked
You
you,
don't have
into
any
saying the
pants on?
opposite.
The last song, you kind of
Duck
get
season.
a literal switch of like,
Yeah.
there is some thematically throughout, but you sort of get that switch of like, oh, like when I got that call, my whole life shattered. You're like, yeah, but it's still within the stuff about like a relationship. Yeah. And then you kind of feel from there, that's almost like where you've kind of got, when you go to like an ice cream place and you say, can I do a scoop of the coffee Oreo and I know this is going to be weird, but I got to try that banana pudding.
Yeah.
So you're eating the banana pudding and then you sort of get the mix in the middle before it all becomes.
That's actually almost more interesting.
I'd like it all to be that.
Yeah.
And then you get down and you go, I don't know, the coffee Oreo is pretty
that's
good by
damn good.
itself.
I've had a swirl cone when it's chocolate and vanilla.
Yeah.
That's basically just tastes like one or the
Right.
other. You know, it's not really anything.
So then you get to the B side of like, here's where
Well,
it changes.
It's almost. You're exactly right, Joey. You're exactly right. The prior song is the sort of the catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep pulling me down.
Of
Pulling me down, pulling me. Can't you take the fact that you still want me around? Salt Shed. 20 years they've been doing Catalyst. We love it as much now as we did then.
That's right. But the sort of catalyst of a person
Maybe even more. Now.
being forced to mature
Mm-hmm.
and to reconsider every little thing you'd done before because wow, I just had to grow up in a way that you can't even fathom until it happens type thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see it and then you see all of your old bullshit through a different lens. And that song has all of that wrapped in one. And then now the next few songs are kind of like I'm a different person now.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, emotionally, figuratively. Things are a little different now. I've got a little bit more to write about.
It is kind of like it seems like such a double. There's this band, there's another band I'm thinking of where it's like a parent has died, and that is what the album is.
Yeah.
No bones about it, sir. And you go, like it's devastating, but it's their most. It's like it is their best thing they've ever done, and it's hard to top. And it's just like, man, I wish it didn't have to exist. You know? Like,
yeah.
it's like it is great, and someone does need to sing about this stuff. It's important.
Yeah.
But you're like, I kind of wish there was a different way to do it.
Sure.
Because it is like there is like now I have more stuff to write about. And then like another band I'm thinking about, which I believe we'll get to,
Foo Fighters.
where he was like, I mean, there's just some stuff in there of like, I'm friends with a porno man and woman, and you go, I think the woman is going to be important to this. I'm thinking about a band that's talking about an album where one of the songs is about how it's hard to write when you're content, how they're happy now.
Right.
And then their kind of follow-up is like, my mom died.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, so you do have stuff to write about now, but like, you know,
At
it's
what-
like the
at
worst
what
case.
cost?
Yeah.
Well, and then it goes back to I mean, you've heard comedians talk about this for years and years. where they're
Camille.
like you don't, but it is kind of true. They say it's not, but it is true. Where you see like a young, up and coming comedian, or band or anyone. I guess we see it with Blink and Green Day and shit too, where it's like when you're young and hungry and you have something to say,
They're hungry like the wolf.
and then you become successful and you're Bert Kreischer or Tom Segura or whatever, and you're just like, now all you can talk about is being rich. Like you
Yeah.
have no real world experience anymore, and you're just happy and like, so what am I listening to you for? And I'm not, by the way, so don't. Okay, but it is kind of, you're like, you need something to happen to you, and then they kind of,
You can't just keep pretending it's funny to make fun of poor people, because I kind of believe you at this point.
yeah,
It's never been funny.
no,
And I'm just getting these clips from God knows where.
yeah. But I've heard even like Conan talking about it, of like, but he's the exception, I think. I mean, people can do it without being,
Well, because he's funny.
yeah,
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
Yeah. But he will always say, like, you know, people think you have to be depressed or you have to be not content to create great art, but that's not the case. But it's like, for some people it is.
Yeah, depending on what that art is.
Yeah. But anyway.
But I think that's why this is where this gets a little interesting.
Yeah.
I'll get up and help with the yard work. I mean, I did a double take when I first heard this.
You've never helped a day in your life with the yard work.
Yeah, I was like, maybe when someone dies, I'll get out there. But it is like a mundane.
Yeah.
I'll get up and help with the yard work. I let the outside noises always pull me under. And if I take some time to cry and just recover, then maybe I can be there for my mother. And I'm like, here we go. All those times are crystal clear. It feels so safe to disappear. Yeah, shield myself in the color of your likeness. I mean, there's just such a change here when we go back to that last album of what, like you said, someone growing up, but also he is great. He is a great lyricist. I think
So, yeah.
all their songs are really cool the way he writes, and now it's being kind of put through this lens of having to deal with this situation.
Yeah.
And it's leading to some cool stuff.
I mean, just this chorus is awesome. And like, how cathartic is that to just literally be saying, how will I get through this?
Yeah.
And how am I still new to this? You're a couple, however long removed from it actually happening, still sucks, still hurts. You're just like, yeah, man, you're not going to, pal. But you can cover yourself in the shade where you spread him ashes.
How about this? There's no success without the test of leaving you behind. Because I think that applies to the band. I mean, I think he also has talked about it must have been the Mark Hoppus interview because he's really not, he doesn't do interviews.
Right.
And so it must have been in that one where he was talking about like his dad was always the one showing him music. And there's sort of like all of his success probably wouldn't have happened without this person.
Right.
And now it's like, you have to get back out and do that stuff. And really like, yeah, you have to move on from someone dying.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, how? So good luck. I don't know. Shield myself in the color of your likeness. How am I still new to this? That's a great. And then when he's in the bridge here, he says, I mean it when I say always. And I believe this is correct when he says, see it clear through the salt in your eyes.
Right.
Which is, I think, is his dad. Probably like his dad or someone else is crying.
Yes.
It's someone else's sadness of
yes.
you saying that to them and knowing it, seeing it through their sadness.
Yeah. There's no other choice that I see. I just got to move on now.
And just putting it into like, these are still like pop punk songs.
That's the
like,
thing where it's like
when people, I think it also goes to when people say like, oh, that's not a whatever sophisticated style of music. Or
oh, you can go shove it. You can go right outside and shove it.
So you're getting that from porn. You're getting Hawk 2 from porn. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, who owns the spelling of that? Because she's kind of using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like she spelled it. Wasn't it other people putting it on merch?
Say it that way.
I know we can't get into this.
We don't have
not during this
hour.
song. That's kind of all the lyrics here.
Yeah,
my man.
And I mean, shield myself in the color of your likeness. It's just such an incredible. I know it's one of those where you're like, I know what this means, but also it's such a strange way to say it that it's awesome. And you're just like, God damn, that's cool.
It's another one of those like, has no one said that before? In that like that turn of phrase is just
it's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
You feel it. You feel it and you know it deep in your little fart.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
I did want to bring something up about the podcast.
Oh shit.
When he's talking about there's no success without the test of leaving you behind. I think that is the sort of tension we feel betwixt us, speaking of rubber band men. Because truly, I feel like I would just, if you weren't here, what I'm trying to say is you're still in my way. Oh, here we go. Get up. We thought we were done playing.
And it's racing around inside my head. All of the things I could have said. Holding your hand right beside that bed.
Oh, we're still there.
Can this be so hard to accept? How long is this never ending? Or you go? Or can I still feel something? If it's wrong, it will amount to nothing. Somehow you're still in my way, and I feel like I'm still so close to the edge. I just wanna trade you places and take me instead. And I know you heard everything that I said. I just hope I can face it like you in the end. How long is this never ending? Or you go? Or can I still feel something? If it's wrong, it will amount to nothing. Somehow you're still in my way.
God, I was gonna listen to the whole thing. This might be my favorite. I don't know
It's great.
the way it opens in the beginning. I mean, there's just that like huge lead part, and then just like
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, if there could be 10 songs of the last half of this album, it would be an incredible.
That's why I'm like, give me more. I'm seeing them next month. If they play this, I'm getting on stage and I'm jumping off. I should listen to it before I go.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's racing around inside my head, all the things I could have said. And I'm like, okay, it's about a girl.
No.
Holding your hand right beside that bed. How can this be so hard to accept? You go. And then the chorus,
For how long
is this never ending?
are you gone?
We should ask if we can cover it for them. We'd be like, this is the most insulting thing I've ever.
For how long?
If it's wrong, it will amount to nothing. Yet somehow you're still in my way. Now, that's a lyric where at first you might go, how rude.
It's almost rude. But no.
Somehow you're still in my way. Isn't that sort of like kind of mixing this idea of relationships and remembering sort of the existential timeline that we're all on, right?
Yeah.
It's a complicated situation, right? Like,
yeah.
Are you gone or can I still feel something? And sort of this feeling of maybe this guilt of feeling like that. Why can't I get over this? Like, why are you still in my head? You're still in my way. Not in a bad way, but also sort of in like, you're still in my way for for good or for worse.
Mm.
Just something I've never heard before put that way.
Yeah.
You're still in my way.
Yeah. Because I mean, even it could be, it's probably an honest feeling of like, yeah, sometimes it probably is like, yeah, this is holding me back from stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of is rude. Even if
Right.
it is about, yeah. And that's
And it's
why
a hard thing to admit.
Yeah.
Because it's not from a place of malice.
No.
But it is a feeling of, I mean, the stuff he's saying in the
Anger.
last song too, of when will this feeling end?
Yeah.
Can I move on with my life, please? Asking someone,
Right.
can I move on, please?
Yeah.
And then this song is like crazy. I don't know. It's just like so just like open and high energy,
Yeah.
and having that sort of this message through it. Oh man. How do they do it?
And in the verse 2, I shudder to think what the genius interpretation of one of the most straightforward lyrics.
One of the ones that like is something that has been said before.
Yeah.
Of wanting
Yeah,
to
like-
trade places with someone. Parker's still thinking of what he can do to leave and wishes he could trade positions with the other person. Let's look at the lyric here. I just want to trade you places. And then let's see what they say. Parker is thinking that he would trade places with the other person. Now, actually, they're wrong. The other person is adamant about ending things and moving on.
Oh my God.
While
they're-
Parker does not want to accept it. Hey, you didn't get the memo.
No.
That's hard to see there. Because then the next line is, I know you heard it, and I know you heard everything that I said. I just hope I can face it like you in the end. That's like, and they didn't get it. They think they don't know it's about someone you hope can hear you in their last,
Right.
like,
And saying, I would like to trade places with you.
yeah.
And take me instead. I mean, it's literally right
And take
there.
me and say, what do you think they're talking about?
Like in a relationship.
And take you where then? Take me instead? What do you mean?
Target. I have to pick up some. I mean, what?
They said Bozeye's going to be there. We could pet him. He looks like the Frankenweenie dog. Big snout. Big snout.
He gotta look like Wishbone. Remember Wishbone?
Do I run? For how long?
Great song. Yeah, this is up there too. Like I say, I mean, this last From Nothing to Say to this one, there's three stellar, perfect little songs.
Yeah.
And it's because, like you were saying, people don't give this type of music credit. And it's a damn shame.
Thank you.
Because
it is just the style with which
you're like,
it's...
oh, you know how to play power chords? Yeah, and I do it damn good too, asshole.
Yes.
Okay.
Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
That's all I have to say. But it's just good stuff, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I give this album a 4.
A
light 4. Oh, we're not done?
If you said we should continue, I'd say White Shores. Uh-oh, crap. I should have made a joke. There it is. The acoustics you wanted. Happy.
Oh, no. A slow song.
This is where I check out.
I hope he doesn't use a falsetto. Oh, shit.
Boom. Now he's right with the music. Hey.
Do I run?
I can't help but think of where you
There's that catharsis we want. And we gotta stop playing this. It's been too...
Yeah.
This is about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You looking at my memes?
God damn, he's got memes pulled up on his pewter.
This was from Parker's story
Whoa.
on Instagram.
Oh, shit.
When my dad took me to see Lord of the Rings as a kid, it changed my life. I still cry every time I watch this scene, which is about Gandalf explaining,
White Shores.
and beyond the far green country under a swift sunrise. As I'm, if you listen to our other show, laying next to a woman in tiny shorts for 4.5 hours. He said, death is just another path, one that we must all take. So it's a reference. I mean, it's about his dad, a movie he watched with his dad about death.
Yeah.
This was the one where I was like, this is great.
I gotta watch Lord of the Rings.
How can I afford the cost? I need every single part of you. Not just I need you. It's just that little, the way he phrases it is just, I need every single part of you.
Yeah.
I can't afford this loss at all.
Yep.
Just go, oh man.
Yep. That'll do it.
This is sort of, I feel like all those the couple songs were sort of leading up to this.
Yeah, this is kind of the big one.
Final song for this album of this stuff. Take me with you now beyond the veil on white shores. Now it's difficult to move. I can't help but think of where you are.
That will crush you.
Yep.
That will absolutely crush you.
This will destroy you. Why did I call you about things I don't? I mean, it's all sort of here. I can't imagine any of our geniuses would get any of this.
And they don't
wrong.
even.
They don't even try. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, this could be the end of the album.
Yeah, I don't know that we need the next one, but
you need 10 songs.
Yeah, if you're gonna be, they're so stingy with these songs, man.
Give it to me.
I do. I mean, yeah, this song is great. It almost sounds again like a throwback song. Just simply the sound of it sounds like, but not even an old school pop punk song, like an old, like Celine Dion ballad or something.
You're sort of on that. You're like Celine Dion, Hoobastank.
Yeah,
You're kind of thinking of that era.
Yeah,
Look that up.
Mm-hmm.
What songs were Celine Dion and Hoobastank putting out together? Something you said.
Mm-hmm. I said it just now.
Wild.
Anyway, but it is that sort of angelic sort of.
How can I afford the gold?
But even the acoustic guitars don't sound like pop punk acoustic guitars. They sound like singer-songwriter.
And like we were saying before, how this song, they follow exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
The same note, basically. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah.
Just all very together, which is not something they do often. And just having a nice acoustic song to end the album.
Yeah. It's great. But then they do, as you point out, they give you the catharsis that you're looking for also.
Yep.
And when I leave, I call you. Tell me.
Yeah.
That part.
That thing that I don't understand.
The band comes in and we get to rock out a little bit and just lay it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we say, okay, well, I want to disappear. Oh.
They had the guitars out. Why not use them again?
So, actually, don't put that away just yet.
I think this was all improv. They were just jamming.
I have lost so much ground. Start from the bottom of the hill.
God dang it.
And we left it open-ended. Sometimes I just want to spill in anywhere you are. It's never that far from here. And all the things you are, you feel them loud and clear. We're gonna grow apart, and that's just how it is. I know I still have your love.
Mark.
I'm gonna soak it up, 'cause I'm not sure if I love you.
Okay.
Well, that. God, what? I mean, what? Okay, yeah. And then at the end, he goes, a little slide. Oh, check this out. You want to hear something that's crazy?
He's never even been in a relationship before.
He's an incel. Now, on Genius, someone on YouTube pointed out, so this is going to be good.
Great. We're getting third-hand Genius annotations.
Someone posted on Genius. Someone on YouTube pointed out, it's probably them. They're like, hey, someone kind of said.
You should check out YouTube.
They actually pointed out a very beautiful and interesting observation.
Oh, interesting.
So how do you
Let's hear
feel
it.
now? The final line, "That I love you," is sung in such a way that it sounds indistinguishably like "Dad, I love you." No confirmation if this is intentional. I don't think it is, just because the song is about lust.
Yeah, it's not about that.
I think that's maybe even kind of in poor taste to say.
Well,
it's just not about that.
no. Because like you were saying, it almost
He could be saying "crab, I love you,"
Crab, I
because he's like, he
love
probably likes
you,
fish.
I think, like you were saying, and now I'm even more convinced this song is almost a concept album. There's just what we've been saying, where it's like, yeah, kind of the old stuff that we talked about, and the big blind, and I'm a manipulative little stink bomb, and my relationships and all that stuff. And then there's this turn, something happens where I look back and realize, oh, that person I treated that way, I shouldn't have done that, and actually I need that person. And then by this song is kind of recapping that idea of like, I used to be this way. I was go for the quiet kill or whatever, sort of the verses are pointing out these were like, I don't really know what, in relationships I was never quite knowing what to do. And then by the end of all this, I lost all this stuff. I realized all this stuff. Now I'm sure that I love you. To the woman or person that this narrator has been opining about and pining for.
I think so, because we get from the beginning, he's got this line about spread your ashes on the ground. Later on, we revisit sort of around this point, cover myself in the shade where I spread your ashes, sort of going back to the same thing in the sort of area of this lust that he had with this person. And then we bring back that also, which is also a very specific way to phrase something.
Yes, no one's ever said that before. I have your lust.
Yeah. So,
but
bringing back lust again at the end.
Yeah.
And I feel like throughout their albums, he's kind of toyed around with how he sings about a specific subject throughout the album. Like here and there, things will come up again. So, and like, so we sort of had that ending of where his dad is, sort of sending him literally to beyond the veil, White Shores. Then kind of coming back to the now of, I know I still have this with you, and just not being sure if there's anything more than that. Or maybe not even knowing what that, like, do I don't know. What does that feel like? And then realizing that I love you. Now, personally, do I need it on the album? Not really.
No.
Because I feel like White Shores is such a powerful ending to go kind of back to, I know I have your lust, I'm going to soak it up. I'm like, easy there, Tiger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need you humping my pillow.
I agree. I mean, it's fine. I don't,
I said, there's nothing on this album I don't like.
I like the song. It is just a little after that where we had the acoustic moment, and then we built it up, and of White Shores, and we have the catharsis of all that. And then, like you said, kind of like, well, we have them out. We might as well throw one more. But now that I am kind of, because I didn't fully think of it in that way, but since we've been talking about it, kind of the concept album, there's kind of a story to this album. And I think that kind of does make me say, no, it is necessary, because he has been trying to reconcile these two things that have been confusing him and stuck in his head all this time. This relationship and his father, and his relationship with his father. And now they both have kind of circled back, and he's figured out how to cope with one and how to hope with the other. But no, I think I like it. It's a pretty song.
Yeah. He's a good singer. They're doing some different stuff. We've heard some acoustics from them before, but
Of course.
I like when you can strip it back and say, "Who are we, man?" Well, Porker, I hope you've kind of figured some stuff out in making this album. I hope the other guys have as well, whatever their names may be.
Yeah.
I know
wish you
I'm
all
just
the
not gonna
best.
say 'em.
No, we can't. We wish you all the best. Well, thanks for listening to this album that I brought.
thanks for bringing it for me to check out.
Did we talk about all the stuff you were dying to talk about since you were dying to talk about this album so
No,
bad?
it's just a pretty solid album.
Yeah.
And what I realized by that was I just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Just in general.
We don't have to
I
do
don't
it
know.
for...
We really need the income from all this content.
That's true.
Hold on a second. I just got another thing. Your video has been blocked by YouTube. Okay.
Yeah. Well, what do you rate this album?
I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah.
I think it lives around their other stuff for me. But I think they're moving in the right direction. I do wonder what sort of
what lies ahead?
Yeah, because they've been touring with Blink. They're doing a UK tour now by themselves. Then they're doing a US tour for this album. And then I don't know if it's going to be another 6 years or if they've... Yeah. I mean, their old producer said Parker was pretty contentious in working with him. And there's been some issues in the band. Their bass player left, I think, because of some of that stuff.
Sure.
I think it's one of those bands where there's some stuff going on behind the scenes, and you wonder, have they worked it out? For God's sake, do they know what they mean to some people? Do they even care?
Well, God, that might be some meaty material for another album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. But of course, that means, wait, would you rate it? An 8?
I give it an 8 as well.
Whoa!
I think I definitely like it more than the other one. Not to say I didn't like the other one. Right. I gave it a 7. You heard 2 hours ago.
But I think it's giving you, lyrically, I think it's a bit more meatier.
It's meatier.
But it's giving you some of those dynamics you were looking for.
That's right. That's exactly right. Great album.
Yeah, just good stuff. And now that we've sort of hit the nail on their heads, maybe you can check out some of their other stuff at some point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I picked that album. Yeah. So now it's your time to pick. What are we listening to next episode?
Well, I'm kind of
give it to me.
I'm kind of 3 minds here.
Jesus.
Sort of like a cow's stomachs.
Yeah.
Or my stomachs. One for dinner, one for dessert, and one for popcorn.
You gotta have popcorn, Robin. Is that where it's turned?
You've got to have popcorn, Robin. She's like, oh, yeah. And then, of course, there's the little guy, Mr. Beetlejuice. He's back.
Yeah.
So
thank God. Well, if you say his name 3 times.
I'm of 3 minds.
Okay.
Now, one of them is kind of closely related to this, and I go, do we do it now? Am I ever going to get to it again?
No, that sounds like a pretty good...
Do I go the route of a band that's kind of associated with them?
Well, that does sound pretty good.
Going to be playing with them on tour. That sort of put me over the edge of
Blink-182.
Yeah, I was like, Blink's opening for them, so we could talk about that. Or do I go with another album about Dead Parent?
Oh,
now this is very interesting.
Options.
Do we want to spend another whole episode?
Well, I guess that
an even sadder album.
That's what I was going to say too, that I guess I didn't say about this. You do kind of have to be, it's one of those where you have to kind of be in the right headspace, or at least know, like, okay, there's some feelings are going to be coming up. So you're kind of like, we can not to, but I did want to say that about this album before we're done with her.
Okay, well, it's too late.
So I'm glad that I got to say
maybe say that up front.
Well, it's not like in a trigger warning way,
right?
Just like in a way that this is also something about the album that I felt.
This is the thing with this other album that I'm kind of like, where does it fit in? Do I just bring a different album from this band? One that's not so.
No, bring it.
One that I didn't cry to the first time I listened to it, because I go, oh my God, this is about the guy's mom dying, and we go, do we get into even sadder of like all the songs on that album are about that. It's a beautiful album.
Oh.
And it's an interesting one for the genre. But I go, do I maybe hit a different album they put out? You know. But then that's not even tied to this one.
Yeah.
So do I just pick No Pressure?
Pick whatever. I don't care.
I would like to talk about No Pressure,
Let's do that.
but it's another one of those where I'm like, do I have much to say about it? But we have to kind of hit the
We filled
the
2 hours
frequel,
talking
right?
about this. Yeah, let's do it.
It's like the same length, 28 minutes. All right, we're gonna do No Pressure's self-titled album.
Loki.
No pressure.
What is it?
No Pressure, self-titled.
Oh.
We'll see you. Thanks for hanging with us and,
Hey,
throwing
Parker-
up those inverted butt cheeks.
Parker and the boys, we thank you for listening.
I'm excited to see you on tour. We can get backstage.
Yeah,
Me and you guys can get backstage.
maybe we can all do that.
And they're like, so you did what's up? I'm like, I reviewed your album. They're like, who gives a flying fuck, motherfucker?
Gave the old one a 7.5 and gave the new
Give this one a boy. The one you did 10 years ago, I gave a 7.5. And this one from this year, I gave an 8. So 0.5. God dang. Okay,
God, that
well,
would
let's
just
do
be
No
fun.
Pressure. We close out the Parker canon.
Yeah, next week or next episode we close out the Parker canon.
We're too good for our own good.
It's honestly, it's a lot of pressure. No pressure.
Ha ha ha.
Bye.
Bye.
Each week we listen to an album, here's our mind. Just know it's gonna take about 3 hours of your time to hear us complain or praise each other's taste. But no matter what, at the end of the day, we're just best friends.